at shortstop, number 2, Robert Tate. Batting third, in center field, number 5, Jason Ballard. Batting fourth, the catcher, number 10, Preston Lund. Batting fifth, at second base, number 9, Corey Mulling. First baseman, number 31, Demir Heldenberg. Batting seventh, the designated hitter, number 4, Elijah Rainey. Batting eighth, the third baseman, number 8, Nico Bilgi. The right fielder, number 6, Josh Moore. And pitching tonight for the Vikings, warming up in the right field bullpen, number 22, Rain Brooks. Your Vikings are coached by Chris Cunningham, Vince Davis, Greg Jones, and your manager, John McCarthy. Ladies and gentlemen, if you please rise, remove your hats, as we honor the men and women who serve to protect our freedom by the playing of the national anthem.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Field of Dreams here on Homewood-Flossmoor High School's campus. The Vikings of HF are going to be taking on the Oswego East Wolves on this cold and gloomy Tuesday afternoon. I'm Dylan Barnes. I'm going to be calling this game and all games throughout the season. And starting for the Vikings is Brian Brooks, a lefty, and behind the plate, his battery mate is going to be Preston Lund. Around the infield, you got Nico Bilgi at third, Rob Tate at short, Corey Mulling at second, and Demir Heidelberg at first base. In the outfield, you have Isaiah White in left, Jason Ballard in center, and Josh Moore in right. The starting lineup for the Oswego East Wolves, leading off for the Wolves in left field, Liam Mitchell. Batting second, the center fielder, Mike Polubinski. The third baseman, Josh Polubinski. The DH, Jackson Petchke. The first baseman, Zach Polubinski. The right fielder, Dylan Kubek. The catcher, Eric Lewis. The shortstop, Mason Blanco. Christian Martin at second. And Spencer Noss, the extra hitter. And pitching for the Wolves is Griffin Slako. The Vikings are looking to continue their win streak and extend it to 4 games. They have had outstanding offense recently, as they haven't had a single game where they've scored less than 11 runs. So if they can continue that production, their pitching staff has to do the bare minimum, and they will succeed. So we're going to get this game underway soon, and hopefully it will be another Vikings win. Leading off for the Wolves to start this first inning is the left fielder, Liam Mitchell. The pitch from Brooks is a little bit low for ball one. This is Brooks' second appearance of the season. He came out of relief in the first game of the season against Eisenhower. Pitched 2 scoreless innings. The 1-0. Swung on into center field. Ballard is there to make the play. So 2 pitches, 1 out for Brooks. Very efficient start to the game for the Vikings.
Center fielder number 1, Mike Polinsky.
In steps Mike Polubinski, the center fielder. This is the Wolves' first game of the season, as both of their previous games on the schedule have been rained out due to this dreary Chicago weather, as the first pitch is in the dirt for ball 1. That's the benefits of having a turf field, is you can get lots of games in. This is the Vikings' 4th game compared to the Wolves' 1st. The 1-0 from Brooks. Maybe just a bit high and inside. Ball 2. Brooks electing to go from the stretch with no runners on as he fires in strike 1. Brooks does the unconventional stretch from no runners on as opposed to stretch with runners on. He will pitch from the stretch with runners on, however, as the 2-1 is swung on and missed by Polubinski. As that evens the count at 2-2. Brooks looking to bounce back from a 2-0 to a strikeout right here. See, the breaker is in there for strike 3 as Polubinski goes down looking. Crossed him up and a backwards K to get the second out of the first inning.
Third baseman number 9, Josh Polubinski.
The third baseman, Josh Polubinski, stepping in. Polubinski, not a very common name, so you have to wonder that these players are related somehow. As he takes strike 1 right down the middle. Brooks pounding the zone early. That can be a good sign for things to come for the Vikings. The 0-1. Breaker swung on and missed. That was the same pitch that got the other Polubinski to go down. But now Brian Brooks is ahead in the count here very quickly, 0-2. Brooks looking to finish this first inning 1-2-3. The pitch. Breaker hit on the ground to short. Rob Tate coming in on it. Should be an easy play, and it is. Brian Brooks retires the Wolves in order in the top of the first inning. So the Vikings are going to bat with a clean slate, as it is the Vikings 0 and the Wolves 0 after half of the first inning. Leading things off here for the Vikings in the bottom of the first is going to be the left fielder, Isaiah White. White, this is his 4th game in a row leading off. Maybe keying in that spot ahead of Dylan Head's comeback as he takes strike 1 from Griffin Slako. So Slako on the bump. Eric Lewis is the catcher behind the plate as he is in there for strike 2. White very quickly down 0-2. Around the infield, you got Josh Polubinski, Mason Blanco at short, Christian Martin at second, and Zach Polubinski at first. As the 0-2 grounded to Polubinski at third, and he throws to the other Polubinski at first. Ground out, third baseman to first baseman. Polubinski to Polubinski, actually. White goes down on 3 pitches, but not the strikeout.
Shortstop number 2, Robert Tate.
In steps Robert Tate. Tate has had a very hot start of the year. He's hit a home run last game and stayed hot the other 3 games, and he is hit by that first pitch. And he's going to get up, run quickly to first base, shake it off, get the team riled up. And in steps another regular in this Vikings lineup, Jason Ballard.
Center fielder number 5, Jason Ballard.
Ballard has hit 3 in every single game of this young season as well. Slako into the stretch. The pitch. Ball outside. In the outfield, we didn't get to them yet, is Liam Mitchell in left, Mike Polubinski in center, and Dylan Kubek in right. Pickoff attempt. Tate slides back in there safely. He's not. Another pickoff attempt as Polubinski comes up with that one. Good pick. Tate doesn't have a stolen base on the year, but he does have wheels to definitely utilize them. The 1-0. Breaking ball in there for a strike. Evens the count at 1-1. Ballard also hot to start the year. Him and Rob Tate have been a good 2-3 punch in the Vikings order as he swings over a breaking ball for strike 2. So now Slako ahead in the count, 1-2. Pickoff attempt. Tate in there safely. Maybe got hit with the ball there. Came up a little bit gimpy. Off of his, looks like his hip, rubbing his hip, but he seems to be okay. He'll stay in. The 1-2. Fouled down the third base line. Almost into the Wolves' dugout. Ballard fighting, protecting the zone as keeps the count at 1-2. Slako comes set. As Ballard takes ball 2. Looks like a breaker, curveball, or slider in the dirt. Evens count at 2-2. Pickoff attempt again, and that ball is going to get away from Polubinski, the first baseman. Tate's going to take second, and he's going to try for third. And Robert Tate is going to be in there at third base. That's going to go E1 on Griffin Slako. And Rob Tate goes first to third without even throwing a pitch to Jason Ballard. So now the Vikings are threatening to score here in the first inning like they've done in every single game so far this season. Pitching with a lead has been big for the Vikings, as they have never trailed in a game. Ballard looking to get Rob Tate in from third. The 2-2. Just a bit high from Slako. That brings the count to a full 3-2. Ballard looking to get on in any way possible. The pitch. Grounded. Foul just down the third base line. Ballard protecting, finding a way on, potentially driving in Rob Tate from third. Ballard looking to give the Vikings an early lead here in this one. Any ground ball into the outfield would work as Ballard takes ball 4. And that's going to put runners on the corners with 1 out for the catcher, Preston Lund.
The catcher, number 10, Preston Lund.
So now Lund looking to do what Ballard did. Drive in Rob Tate, or even get on and extend the inning to Corey Mulling, whose waits on deck, as he takes a fastball in there for strike 1. The 0-1 from Slako. Ballard takes off, and Preston Lund grounds it through the hole in second base. Ballard's going to come up, and he's going to be on third base. Lund advancing to second, and the Vikings have a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the first. A perfectly executed hit and run from Preston Lund. The second baseman went to cover the steal, and Preston Lund grounded that baseball right through the hole. And now he's going to be replaced by C.J. Gales as a courtesy runner for the catcher. Gales definitely has speed.
Second baseman, number 9, Corey Mulling.
So now the Vikings definitely are threatening to score more as Mulling steps in. 2 runners in scoring position. Slako shakes. Now agrees with Lewis. The pitch. Strike 1 on a breaking ball. Getting these 2 runs in would be big for the Vikings. The 0-1 from Slako. Swing and a miss from Mulling. The wind is blowing out today as it has been in games past, so any ball in the air to left field, it will leave. You got to get it there first. Mulling in a hole 0-2. Calls time, steps out. Mulling looking to drive in 2 runs for the Vikings, give them a 3-0 lead. The 0-2. In the dirt, did not go, says the home plate umpire. The appeal, and the base umpire agrees. 1-2. Maybe a little bit of a gift there for the Vikings, as it seemed like Mulling went around, but we're not one to argue. The 1-2. And that is going to be another hit by pitch for Slako. Mulling loads the bases now for Demir Heidelberg.
First baseman, number 31, Demir Heidelberg.
Heidelberg has been hot these 4 games. He is also another one of those 4-game starters for the Vikings. As the Wolves are going to have a meeting on the mound, discuss what they want to do here. That hit by pitch really hurts Slako, as he had him 1-2. You never want to hit a guy, but especially with 2 strikes and you're ahead in the count, that hurts even worse. So now Heidelberg looking to blow this game wide open. The pitch from Slako. As that's going to be lined in down the left field line, that's going to be a fair ball. Gales is going to get waved around from third, and he is going to score easily. And the Vikings take a 3-0 lead here in the bottom of the first inning. Demir Heidelberg delivers again for the Vikings. The sophomore has been raking to start the year.
Designated hitter, number 4, Elijah Rainey.
Elijah Rainey stepping in for the Vikings. He's the designated hitter for Brain Brooks. Rainey has light tower power, as they call it, as he tried to show that off right there with that swing. 0-1. Mulling has speed on second, so any ball into the outfield will score him. The 0-1 from Slako. Ooh, slider in there for a strike. 0-2. Griffin Slako ahead in the count on Elijah Rainey. 0-2. The pitch. Called time. That pitch does not count. Seems to be a good thing for the Vikings, as that pitch seemed to be pretty good. So the real 0-2 pitch from Slako. Another slider outside. Too far outside for Elijah Rainey. The Vikings have already put up 3 in this bottom of the first inning, threatening to put up even more. The 1-2. Swung on, late swing by Elijah Rainey as he goes down on strikes.
Third baseman, number 8, Nico Bilgi.
Third baseman Nico Bilgi steps in for the Vikings. Bilgi also has been a consistent hitter in this Vikings lineup. That ball in the dirt. Good block by Lewis. Ball 1. If Bilgi can just get a ball into the outfield, that's going to be another run for the Vikings. The 1-0. In there for strike 1. Good fastball on the outer third there from Slako. Count is even at 1-1. Big swing from Bilgi. Comes up empty, 1-2. Griffin Slako looking to retire Nico Bilgi on strikes. The 1-2 pitch. Fouled back. Bilgi just barely got a piece of that one. Slako has command of the fastball, but the breaking ball is not exactly where he wants it to be. The 1-2 again from Slako. In there for strike 3. Got him looking. But the Vikings put up a 3 spot in the bottom of the first, and Brain Brooks is going to be pitching with a lead in the top of the second. So at the end of 1, it's the Vikings 3 and the Wolves 0. Leading off the top of the second for the Wolves, it's going to be the DH Jackson Petchke. Brooks retired the Wolves in order in the top of the first, looking to do that again in the top of the second, as there's ball one to Petchke. Brooks comes set in the 1-0. Just a tad bit outside, 2-0. This is how we started the leadoff hitter. The second hitter, Mike Polubinski. And he struck him out. So let's see if he can do the same thing to Petchke. As there's strike one. Can't strike a batter out without getting strike one. So that's a good start for Brooks. The 2-1. Slow looping curveball. Strike two. Brooks really took something off of that one. That looked to hang up there forever. And the count is even now, 2-2. The same pitch, and Petchke chases it in the dirt. And just like Mike Polubinski, Brooks goes behind 2-0 and then throws three straight strikes. Jack Polubinski stepping in, the third of the Polubinskis in this Wolves lineup. Fastball in the dirt, ball one. So Brooks has been wild to start at bats, but he seems to have settled down once he throws 1-2 balls. Not the best for his pitch count, but the 1-0. Inside, ball two. Brooks comes set. The 2-0 pitch. Upstairs, ball three. Brooks has shown that he is comfortable pitching behind in the count. See if he can come back from 3-0. The pitch. In there for strike one. Brooks looking to come back from a 3-0 hole. Has him at 3-1 right now. The pitch. Popped up on the infield, mulling over, under it, and he makes the play. Good pitch there from Brooks. Gets Polubinski to pop out to Mulling at second.
Right fielder number 11, Dylan Kubik.
The right fielder, Dylan Kubik, stepping in. Lots of lefties here for the Oswego East Wolves. Not exactly a favorable matchup. You want righty-lefty, not lefty-lefty. There's ball one. Brooks looking to retire the side in order for the second straight inning. So here's the 1-0 pitch. Hit on, into the air, left center field. Ballard back on it. That's going to get down. Ballard comes up throwing. And Kubek is going to be in there with a double. He goes opposite field, doubles it into the left center field gap.
Catcher number 2, Eric Lewis.
Eric Lewis now stepping into the box for the Wolves. He's a backstop. Looking to close this gap from 3-2, potentially even 1. 0-0 from Brooks. In there, strike one. Brooks ahead in the count, 0-1. Looking to get out of this inning with no damage. The pitch. Bit upstairs, 1-1. And now Kubek is going to be caught in a rundown between second and third, and he's going to be back in there safely at second. Kubek got a little bit too far off second base from Preston Lund. Lund had to chase him back to second. count is even now 1-1. Pickoff attempt. Kubek gets back in there safely. A nice stop from Mulling. Falls to the turf, but stops it from going into center field. Brooks comes set. The 1-1 pitch. Swung and missed. Lewis was out ahead of that one. So now Brooks ahead in the count 1-2. Looking to get out of this second inning with no runs allowed. The pitch. Looping curveball, late swing from Lewis, and that's going to do it for the Wolves in the top of the second. A double from Dylan Kubek cannot come around to score as the Wolves strand a runner on second. So at the end of the top of the second, it's the Wolves 0 and the Vikings coming to bat with 3 runs. Leading things off for the Vikings here in the bottom of the second inning, it's going to be the right fielder Josh Moore. Moore is the 9-hitter, looking to turn things over to the top of the lineup with a runner on base. Moore is your stereotypical leadoff hitter, but it's always nice to have him bat 9 as he's fast and can get on base. And he's going to be hit by a pitch, the 3rd hit by pitch of the game for Slako. Moore does exactly what he wanted to do in just getting on base now for the top of the order, and Isaiah White.
Left fielder, number 13, Isaiah White.
White grounded out to third his first at-bat. Looking to potentially plate Josh Moore. A ball in the gap will do that as Moore can fly. Also a stolen base threat. Not stealing now as White squares bunt, pops it foul.
World Baseball Classic tonight, isn't the championship tonight? Japan.
White squared bunt on that one, but ended up popping it foul. Pickoff attempt. Moore in there, and the ball gets away, and Moore is going to potentially do what Rob Tate did, and he is going to go first to third on the error by Slako again. So Slako has now 2 errors charged to him. Polubinski could not come up with that errant throw as Josh Moore goes first to third without even throwing a pitch to Isaiah White. So now, Vikings, as they did in the first inning, have gone hit by pitch, pickoff attempt that went awry, and now Isaiah White looking to do what Demir Heidelberg did and drive him in. As he does exactly that, as that ball gets down into the left center field gap, and Isaiah White is going to try for second, and he's going to be in there, driving in Josh Moore. Isaiah White with a no-out double, driving in Josh Moore, and the Vikings take a 4-0 lead here in the bottom of the second inning.
Shortstop number 2, Robert Tate.
Tate was hit by pitch to start the first inning. He came around and scored on the Heidelberg RBI single. Tate homered in his last game and has been hot to start the season. The 0-1 pitch, the 0-0 pitch in there for strike one. Now it's 0-1.
Who do we play Thursday? Conference game or non-con?
The 0-1 to Rob Tate.
Is it conference or non-con?
Ball one outside.
Game.
The 1-1. Slako looking to limit the damage here in the bottom of the second. Tate grounds it down the third baseline, foul. Just barely foul. The third baseman, Polovinsky, did come up with that. Slako now ahead in the count 1-2. Tate looking to drive in Isaiah White from second. The 1-2 from Slako. Grounded, foul down the third base line again. Almost an exact replica of the pitch before. Tate battling. Looking to add to his team-leading 9 RBIs. The 1-2. Off his foot. Fouled off his foot. He's a little hurt, but nothing he can't handle. Tate comes up a little gimpy. The 1-2 from Slako grounded back to Tate. And Tate's going to be, an error again from Slako. And Isaiah White is going to score from second. A ground ball back to Slako, and he cannot throw to first base as Tate's going to be on first with an error on Slako, his third of the game, and the Vikings add on another run. It's 5-0 in the bottom of the second inning. And it appears Slako might be taken out of the game. Or this could just be a meeting on the mound. We will have to wait and see. In steps the center fielder, Jason Ballard. Ballard walked his first at-bat, came around to score. Swung on, hit into left center field. Center fielder going back on it. That's going to get down for the Vikings. Rob Tate is going to be waved around third, and he is going to be safe at home. Jason Ballard with an RBI double, and the Vikings add on another one. It is 6-0 here in the bottom of the second inning. That ball almost left the yard. Hit just off the base of the wall. So now the catcher, Preston Lund, is going to have a chance to drive in Ballard from
Catcher
second.
number 10, Preston Lund.
Vikings looking to extend their lead to 7 or possibly even 8. The pitch from Slako. Lund fouls that one back. That one came right over our heads. Slako ahead in the count 0-1. Lund jam shot. That's going to do the job. That's going to get Ballard over to third base, but Lund is going to be out on a ground out to Slako. But now Ballard is standing only 90 feet away, as any ball in play from Mulling will do the job.
Second baseman, number 9, Corey Mulling.
Mulling was also hit by a pitch in his first AB. Slako back to the windup now with the runner on third. He takes a ball high. The 1-0. In there, evens the count at 1. The 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball. Little low, says a home plate umpire. 2-1. The pitch. Swung on and missed by Mulling. 2-2 now to Mulling. Mulling looking to extend this Vikings lead from 6 to 7 or more. Swing and a miss. And Mulling goes down on strikes.
First baseman, number 31, Demir Heidelberg.
Demir Heidelberg stepping in now for the Vikings. He had that big 2 RBI single for the Vikings. And that's going to be off the third baseman's glove. Shortstop comes up with it, throws, and Demir Heidelberg is going to be safe at first base. That's most likely going to go down as E5, but the Vikings add on another one. It's 7-0. Heidelberg with a hard-hit ball down the third base line. And another run scores for the Vikings.
Designated hitter, number 4, Elijah Rainey.
Elijah Rainey now stepping in. He struck out in his first at-bat, looking to right the ship here. Swings over a breaking ball from Slako. Slako comes set. The 0-1 pitch. No, pickoff attempt. Clean one. He's thrown it away twice, so any pickoff attempt over there gotta be alert. The 0-1. Inside, ball 1. Count is even now, 1-1. The pitch. Swung on and missed, 1-2. The 1-2 from Slako. Swing and a miss, and that ball is going to get down and drop third, and that's going to be an error on the catcher, as the catcher Lewis cannot throw the ball to first base either. And the Vikings get another base runner on a drop third strike. So Rainey advances to first base, and Heidelberg advances to third base. The most productive strikeout you will ever see. So that seems like that's going to be it for Slako, as this is the second mound visit. And yes, it is. Slayko departs. We'll be right back. Patrick Flynn takes over for Griffin Slayko on the mound. He will inherit runners on first and third with 2 outs, and Nico Bilgi stepping up to the plate.
Third baseman, number 8, Nico Bilgi.
Bilgi struck out looking his first at-bat. He fouls away the first pitch. Bilgi hoping to extend the Vikings' lead to 8. Flynn comes set. The pitch. Outside, ball 1. Grabbing the rosin bag. It's not raining or anything, so you wonder why he does that. Maybe a bit sweat on the hand. The 1-1. In there, strike 2. Bilgi looking to get a base hit here. Drive in Heidelberg from third. The 1-2. Grounded in between the second base and first base hole, and that's going to be a single for Nico Bilgi. Heidelberg scores, and Rainey is in there at third. It's an RBI single for Nico Bilgi, and the Vikings are up 8-0 here in the bottom of the second inning. It went just barely off the second baseman Christian Martin's glove and falls into the right field grass.
Right fielder, number 6, Josh Moore.
Moore led off this second inning with a hit by pitch on the very first pitch. So let's see if he can drive in Rainey from third. And that ball's going to get over his head, and Rainey's going to come in to score. A wild pitch leads to a run for the Vikings, and it's 9-0. Another offensive show for the Vikings as they have put up 9 runs in only 2 innings. And Moore's got to be a little bit spooked. That one came right at his head. Lucky he ducked, or else he would have had 2 hit by pitches in 2 at-bats in the same inning. Both on the first pitch of the at-bat, too. So Flynn behind in the count now, 1-0 to Josh Moore. Moore swings and fouls one. Moore can extend the lead for the Vikings to double digits here with one swing. Moore has shown power in the past. He homered in a previous game. The 1-1. Moore calls time. He's looking to drive in Nico Bilgi from second. The Vikings have put up 6 runs here in the bottom of the second. And that ball is going to be over Moore's head again. Ball 2. Moore ahead in the count now, 2-1. 2 balls at his head. The pitch from Flynn. That's going to be another hit by pitch for Josh Moore. The 4th pitch of the game at him turns into his 2nd hit by pitch. A ball magnet, Josh Moore is. As he's going to stand on first, unharmed. A breaking ball hit him in the elbow, it seemed. Nothing that he can't handle.
Left fielder number 13, Isaiah White.
So now Isaiah White stands in. He had an RBI double this same inning, plating Josh Moore from first after his hit by pitch. His first hit by pitch, may I say. White can drive in Nico Bilgi from second and Josh Moore from first as he takes ball 1 high. One for 2 on the day, Isaiah White is, as he takes a curveball inside ball 2. Flynn does not have the best command of that curveball. Seems to just can't get it to break back over the heart of the plate. Maybe it's a good thing, as if he gets that to break over the heart of the plate, the Vikings could tee off on that. There's a strike from Flynn. 2-1. Fouled down the third base line. Left fielder Liam Mitchell almost had a play on that, but it fell just out of his reach. Runners will be going on contact, so Bilgi can score easily on a ball hit to the outfield. And any ball hit into the gap, Moore can score easily too. The 2-2 to Isaiah White. Ground ball, short and third hole. Blanco comes up with it, and he's going to be safe. Isaiah White beats out the throw from Mason. And he's going to be safe. Isaiah White beats out the throw from Mason Blanco. Blanco took too long to throw, took a few too many shuffles, and the bases are going to be loaded now for Rob Tate.
Shortstop number 2, Robert Tate.
Tate has power. He's reached base twice this game with a hit by pitch and then an error by starting pitcher Griffin Slako. He takes ball 1 outside. So now Flynn is getting that curveball break, but not getting the Vikings to chase it. The 1-0 from Flynn. Grounded towards second base. Martin up with it and gets Tate to ground out. 4-3 in the scorebook. But the Vikings put up a whopping 6 runs here in the bottom of the second inning. And at the end of the second inning, it is the Vikings 9 and the Wolves of Oswego East 0. Mason Blanco leads things off here for the Wolves in the top of the third. Brian Brooks out for his third inning of work. He's only allowed one hit, a double, that got stranded on second as Blanco fouls the first pitch back. Outside of that double to Dylan Kubek in the top of the second, Brooks has been perfect. Three Ks through 2 innings for Brooks, looking to add to that as he skips in ball one. The 1-1 from Brooks. Fastball in there, strike two. Brooks comes set. The 1-2. Looping curveball, swing and a miss. Mason Blanco goes down like Petchke, Polubinski, and Lewis. A swinging curveball from Mason for Mason Blanco from Brian Brooks, and that's his 4th K of the game. All 4 of Brooks's Ks have been on that loopy curveball. Fastball by Christian Martin, the second baseman. Brooks ahead in the count early, 0-1. The pitch. Grounded, back to Brooks. Should be an easy play. And he comes up with it and gets the out. Throws to Demir Heidelberg for the easy 1-3 putout.
Extra hitter, number 5, Spencer Noose.
Extra hitter now, Spencer Noss steps up for the Wolves. Since it is non-conference play, both teams can elect to use an extra hitter if they choose to. The Vikings have not so far, as Noss takes strike one. The Wolves are batting 10 as they want to get everybody as many reps as they possibly can, as this is their first game of the year. The 0-1 from Brooks, swing and a miss from Noss. Brooks is ahead in the count now, 0-2, looking for his 5th strikeout of the game, and to retire the Wolves 1-2-3 in the top of the third, like he did in the top of the first. The 0-2 pitch from Brooks. Curveball, just outside. Almost came back. At this point, you got to think the Wolves know what's coming if they're behind in the count. They got 2 strikes on him. All 4 of his Ks have been with that curveball. As there it is again, and it's just outside again. Evens the count now at 2-2. Brooks definitely using that curveball to his advantage here in this one. The pitch. Fastball, fouled back. Brooks primarily using that fastball curveball combo. He has a changeup that I believe he's only thrown once this game, but he doesn't need to use it, as there's that curveball again that's grounded foul down the third base line. So Noss is fighting, but Brooks is trying to retire him here. The 2-2 from Brooks. Fastball by him. Noss goes down on a fastball from Brooks. His 5th one of the game. And the Vikings are up 9-0 on the Wolves after 2.5. Through 3, at the end of the top of the third. It is the Vikings 9 and the Wolves 0.
Leading off the bottom of the third inning, center fielder number 5, Jason Ballard.
Jason Ballard leads things off for the Vikings in the bottom of the third. He's walked and doubled on the day. 1 RBI for Ballard as he grounds the first pitch foul down the third base line. Ballard, if he can get on base, he is a stolen base threat. He's behind in the count 0-1. The pitch from Flynn. Curveball in the dirt, 1-1. Flynn out there for his second inning of relief of starting pitcher Griffin Slako. The 1-1. Fastball in there for strike 2. Flynn ahead in the count now. 1-2 on Ballard. Ballard K's looking on a fastball. Probably wasn't what he was expecting to get from Flynn. Preston Lund, the catcher.
Number 10, Preston Lund.
The catcher, Preston Lund, stepping in for the Vikings. He's 1 for 2 with a single and a ground out to the pitcher. Looking to start things off for the Vikings here in the bottom of the third. The pitch, outside, ball 1. Lund, a 3-year varsity player, one of only a few Vikings who can claim that title. Ahead in the count 0-1. 1-0, excuse me. Takes ball 2 high. Lund trying to play leadoff man here for the Vikings in the bottom of the third. The 2-0. Over his head. 3-0. Corey Mulling waits on deck. If Lund can get on, Mulling can drive him in. The 3-0 pitch from Flynn. Fastball upstairs, ball 4. Lund walks on 4 pitches.
Second baseman, number 9, Corey Mulling.
Mulling is 0 for 1 on the day. He struck out and was hit by a pitch in his first at-bat. He came around to score on that hit by pitch. Slako gets ahead in the count 0-1. Pickoff attempt. Back in there safely. Lund was replaced as a courtesy runner by C.J. Gales. Gales, a speedy outfielder for the Vikings. Definitely a stolen base threat. The 1. Grounded down the third base line, foul. Patrick Flynn ahead in the count now, 0-2. The 0-2 pitch. Hit on a rope into right center field by Mulling. That's going to get down. Gales is going to come up, and he's going to go to third on the single from Mulling. That ball likely would have gotten the gap if the outfield wasn't so wet from all the rain.
First baseman, number 31, Demir Heidelberg.
Heidelberg stepping up to the plate now for the Vikings. He's 1 for 1, reaching on an error in his second at-bat, but he does have 3 runs accounted for to his name. A 2 RBI single in the first, and then scored another run off that error in the bottom of the second. Vikings looking to take a double-digit lead over the Oswego East Wolves in the bottom of the third. The pitch to Heidelberg. Swung on down the third base line. Comes home with it, and he's going to be out at the plate. Gales is out at the plate as Polubinski fired home to Lewis. Looked to hesitate, maybe potentially trying to turn a double play, but comes home with it, and Gales is thrown out trying to advance and score.
Designated hitter number 4, Elijah Rainey.
Rainey has struck out twice today, but was gifted first base on a drop third strike, his second AB. He's looking to do some damage for the Vikings, potentially driving in Mulling from second base. The 0-0. Swing and a miss from Rainey. Rainey has all the power in the world, but it's just a matter of getting bat on ball for him. If he lifts the ball, could go over the scoreboard, potentially over the hill out there in left field. The 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss again from Rainey. 2 of pretty much identical pitches from Patrick Flynn, 2 curveballs. See if he comes back with a fastball now, almost pitching him backwards. Or he could go back to that curveball. Rainey has shown that he cannot lay off it. The 0-2 from Flynn. Curveball in the dirt. Mulling is trying to advance to third, and he's going to be in there. A wild pitch from Patrick Flynn allows Mulling to advance to third and Heidelberg to move up to second. So now a wild pitch could easily plate Mulling from third. Now Flynn has to really control his curveball, make sure he doesn't spike it, and make sure his catcher Eric Lewis doesn't have to block anything. The 1-2. Outside, ball 2. Count is even, 2-2. Rainey can extend the Vikings' lead to double digits here with 1 swing. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Rainey goes down on strikes, and the Vikings, for the first time this game, put up no runs in a half inning. But at the end of the third inning, it's the Vikings 9 and the Wolves 0. Brian Brooks out for his 4th inning of work here for the Vikings.
Leading off the top of the 4th inning, left fielder number 6, Liam Mitchell.
This is the top of the order for the Wolves as Mitchell takes ball 1. This is only the second at-bat for the Wolves, as some of the Vikings are coming up on 3, even 4 at-bats for the top of the Vikings order. Swing and a miss. Count is even at 1-1. Mitchell lined out to center field on the second pitch of his at-bat to start the game. The 1-1 from Brooks. Fastball, swung on, hit out to right center field. Ballard going back on it, Moore going back on it, and Ballard makes the play on the warning track, just barely in front of the wall. A good play from Jason Ballard out there in center field, as that ball was hit a long way, and he had to keep track of where the wall was, where Josh Moore was, where the ball was. Good play from Jason Ballard.
Left center fielder, number 1, Mike Polubinski.
Center fielder Mike Polubinski now for the Wolves. He struck out swinging on that loopy curveball from Braden Brooks in the first inning. Brooks looking to do the exact same thing to him here. See, he hits a sharp line drive into left field. That's going to be a single for Polubinski.
Third baseman, number 9, Josh Polubinski.
Josh Polubinski now stepping in, looking to do what his relative did. I don't know if they're brothers, cousins. They're related somehow. Popped up foul. Josh Polubinski grounded out to short his first at-bat. Potentially could do the exact same thing, and the Vikings could turn a 6-4-3 double play. Brooks ahead in the count now, 0-1. Long pause from Brooks. The 0-1. Looping curveball swung on, fouled back. Just barely got a piece of it. Braden Brooks quickly ahead in the count now, 0-2. The 0-2. Pickoff attempt. That's going to get away from Heidelberg. And Polubinski's going to move up 90 feet. So all types of pickoff attempts gone wrong in this game here today. Brooks lucky that Polubinski only moved up 90 feet as opposed to Moore and Tate for the Vikings, who moved up 180 feet. They went first to third on their pickoff errors. But Brooks still ahead in the count, 0-2. He can finish off Josh Polubinski at the plate with one pitch. The 0-2. Curveball in the dirt, blocked by Preston Lund. A little bit of a bad throw back to the pitcher from Lund, but Mike Polubinski at second does not go anywhere. Brooks still ahead in the count, 1-2. The pitch. Fastball, check swing from Polubinski, fouled off his hands. Little emergency swing from Polubinski. Maybe didn't want to go around fully, but it was he fouled it away. Keeps the count at 1-2. Brooks comes set. The 1-2. Curveball, just outside. Evens the count at 2-2.
I can't see him just not working. He likes money.
Brooks had Polubinski 0-2. Now it's 2-2. The pitch from Brooks. Fastball hits Polubinski on the elbow guard. It's never nice to hit somebody, but not with 2 strikes on him as well. So that's going to bring up Jackson Petchke. He also struck out on that loopy curveball from Brooks. So we're going to have a mound visit from the pitching coach.
Number 22, Jackson Petchke.
Pitching coach Vince Davis out to the mound, talk things over with Brooks. Brooks has been not shaky this inning, but not perfect like his first and third innings were. Probably just getting him to settle down a bit, throw strikes, get out of this jam, get a ground ball, double play. DH Jackson Petchke stepping up to the plate for the Oswego East Wolves. Another lefty for the Wolves. Got a lot of them in their lineup. Inside, ball 1. Looked good from Brooks. Brooks comes set, the 1-0. Curveball, just barely inside, looked good. Don't know where that was. In other baseball news, World Baseball Classic has started. The USA taking on Japan in the finals. Mike Trout just doubled. It's good to see for the U.S. The 2-0. Upstairs 3-0. Back to the World Baseball Classic. USA looking to defend their 2017 title. Back to our game. Brooks behind 3-0 on Jackson Petchke. Fastball in there for strike 1. Brooks can dig out of this 3-0 hole very easily. Get a ground ball on the infield. The 3-1 pitch. Fastball low and outside, ball 4, and that's going to load the bases now for the Wolves. Zach Polubinski now stepping in for the Wolves.
First baseman, number 8, Zach Polubinski.
Polubinski popped out to Mulling at second, his first time up. Something that would be greatly appreciated right now, as any out right here for the Vikings will be big. Fastball tipped into the mitt of Lund for strike 1. Brooks ahead in the count, 0-1. The pitch. Fastball sorted it. Polubinski wasn't expecting that out of Brooks. And Brooks is ahead in the count, 0-2. Brooks looking to retire Polubinski. Inside, ball 1. Zach Polubinski, the third of the trio of Polubinskis in this Oswego East lineup. Brooks still ahead in the count, 1-2. The pitch. Looping curveball, left it high, 2-2. Brooks just needs to finish. Had him 0-2 with 2 fastballs. See if he goes back to it here on 2-2. The 2-2 from Brooks. Fastball swung on, hit right back up the middle. Rob Tate cannot come up with it, and that's going to be a 2-run scoring single from the Vikings. And now Polubinski is going to advance to second. And the Vikings have a 9-2 lead over the Oswego East Wolves. Mike
Right
Polubinski
fielder,
scored.
Number 11, Dylan Kubik.
So Zach Polubinski just drove in Mike Polubinski and Josh Polubinski right there. A little bit of family companionship right there. Dylan Kubik takes ball one high and outside. Brooks struggling with his command here in the top of the fourth. But luckily he still has a 7-run cushion to deal with. Fastball, low 2-0. Oswego East dugout is very lively. Very lively considering they are down 7 runs. But maybe they think that they can get back in this game. The 2-0 from Brooks. Fastball just inside. That's going to bring the count to 3-0. Brooks does have an open base, as that could set up the potential inning-ending double play. But he is behind in the count to Kubek, 3-0. And he walks Kubek on 4 straight. So that's going to load the bases. Now for Eric Lewis, the catcher.
Catcher number 2, Eric Lewis.
Lund going out to talk to Brooks. Maybe seeing how he's going to attack him. I know that's going to be all she wrote for Brian Brooks. Coach McCarthy coming out to go get him. So Brian Brooks exits. He's responsible for all 3 runners on base. And in comes the right-hander, Jack Barry. He's inheriting the bases loaded and has a 7-run lead. So we'll step out. We'll be right back with more Viking baseball.
Shortstop number 23, Mason Blanco.
Mason Blanco is going to be the first batter for Jack Barry here in the top of the 4th inning. Blanco struck out on a Brian Brooks curveball. And like Brooks, Jack Barry also has that slow, loopy curveball. He takes outside for ball 1. Blanco is the 8th batter the Wolves have sent to the plate here in this top of the 4th inning. Barry looking to stop that damage, stop the bleeding. The 1-0. Fastball swung and missed by Mason Blanco. 1-1. Barry is a junk ball pitcher, so that fastball, while it might not be as hard as some of the other pitchers on this team, after his slow off speed, it gets up on you. As there's a ball in the dirt, 2-1. Barry has 4 or 5 different off-speed pitches that he throws, all very effectively. While Brooks was just a primarily fastball curveball pitcher. As Blanco lines one into center field, Ballard coming in on it, and that's going to get down, and he slips and falls, knocks it down though, and that's going to be 1 run comes in for the Wolves, and so does 2 runs. So the Wolves cut this lead to 5. A 2 RBI single from Mason Blanco. So the Vikings now only have a 9-4 lead. And that's going to bring up Christian Martin, the second baseman.
Number 24, Christian Martin.
Martin grounded out to the pitcher his last time up to the plate. The Wolves have put up 4 runs in this inning. Barry looking to limit that to just 4. Those runs were attached to Brian Brooks' name, however, as he was responsible for both runners on board. Line down the left field line. That's going to get down. 1 run is in for the Wolves, and that's going to be an RBI double for Christian Martin. The Wolves score another, and it's 9-5. The Oswego East dugout is very animated now, as a 5-run 4th inning would get anybody into the game.
Second baseman number 24, Christian Martin.
Fouled back. No, that's going to be in play, excuse me. Mulling is going to make the play in shallow right field. From my angle, that looked like it was going to be out of play down the first base line. So that's the second out in the top of the 4th inning for the Vikings.
Number 5, Spencer Noose.
Excuse me. That was Mason Blanco, the shortstop. I skipped Eric Lewis. Eric Lewis hit the double. And Spencer Noss, now, the extra hitter, is up. He takes ball 1 upstairs. He takes ball 2. Barry looking in, comes set. The 2-0 pitch. Fastball off his hands. Barry gets Noss to ground out. They're saying that Heidelberg potentially came off the base. No, he's not. He's out at first base. A little bit of controversy over there. But the Vikings allow 5 runs to the Wolves in the top of the 4th, but keep that lead at the end of the top of the 4th. It's the Vikings 9 and the Wolves 5. Back out on the mound for the Oswego East Wolves is Patrick Flynn, his third inning of work. He relieved starting pitcher Griffin Slyko. Nico Bilgi stepping in for the Vikings. His third at-bat of the game.
Bottom of the fourth inning. Third baseman, Nico Bilgi.
Bilgi struck out looking his first at-bat, but then came through in his second at-bat with an RBI single. Looking to stay hot. He swings and grounds one towards the second baseman, towards the shortstop, Blanco, and he's going to be safe at first. The first baseman cannot come up with it. A little bit of a wide throw, and it went off Bilgi's helmet. Hopefully he's okay. He seems to be fine. And that's going to be probably an error on the shortstop, Mason Blanco, as that throw was wide.
Right fielder, number 6, Josh Moore.
Either way, whoever the error's on, Nico Bilgi is aboard for Josh Moore. Moore has been hit twice in this game. Probably does not want to be hit a third time as he takes ball one upstairs. The 1-0. Grounded foul down the first base line. Evens count at 1-1. The 1-1 from Flynn. Grounded over Flynn's head. And it's going to be a fielder's choice as Blanco steps on second to get Nico Bilgi out at second base, but Moore is going to beat out the throw to first. So Moore replaces Bilgi at first base, and he turns over the lineup card to number 13, Isaiah White.
Left fielder, number 13, Isaiah White.
White is 2 for 3 on the day. He had an RBI double, an infield single, and then grounded out to third base. He's looking to keep that momentum going as he takes strike one. Would not be shocked if we see Josh Moore try and swipe second base. He is definitely a stolen base threat. As Isaiah White grounds it towards second base, Blanco to Martin, and it's going to be another fielder's choice for the Wolves as Isaiah White beats out the throw. So Isaiah White replaces Josh Moore at first base. And that's going to bring up Rob Tate, the shortstop.
Shortstop, number 2, Robert Tate.
Tate was hit his first at-bat, and then he reached on an error by the pitcher in his second at-bat. Grounded out to second in his last at-bat. But he's looking to extend this inning. So he sends one down the right field line. That's going to be a fair ball. Isaiah White is going to be held up at second, and that's going to be a single for Rob Tate. So now Jason Ballard with a chance to extend this Vikings lead.
Center fielder, number 5, Jason Ballard.
Ballard walked his first at-bat, but then had a RBI double in his second at-bat. Hopefully he can do that again here. Any ball into the outfield will score Isaiah White from second base. Ballard hits one down the third base line. A good play, and that's a phenomenal play by the third baseman, Josh Polubinski, ranging to his left. Gets the ball and then taps third base for the force out. So the Vikings do not score in the bottom of the fourth, but they maintain their 9-5 lead over the Oswego East Wolves. New pitcher in the game for the Vikings. Evan Nieder replaces Jack Barry. This is Nieder's second appearance. Nieder will be tasked with facing the Wolves' first three, Liam Mitchell, Mike Polubinski, and Josh Polubinski, as he starts with a ground ball right back to him, and he flips to Heidelberg, and he's going to be safe. Nieder took a little bit too long to flip to Heidelberg at first, and that allowed Mitchell to beat out the play. So that's going to be a very awkward infield single now for Mitchell.
Center fielder number 1, Mike Polubinski.
Nieder had to go to the turf to field that one, but it gave Mitchell just enough time to advance to first base. As that one hits the plate and bounces up over Preston Lund's head, and Mitchell is going to be on second base. So now Mike Polubinski is 1 for 2 with a single and a strikeout on the day, as he is ahead in the count 1-0. He's looking to plate Liam Mitchell from second base. He hits one in the air to right field. Moore under it. He's going to come up throwing, and Mitchell will not tag up and go to third base. A good throw from Josh Moore, holding Mitchell at second base.
Third baseman number 9, Josh Polubinski.
Josh Polubinski now stepping up to the plate for the Wolves. In his only official at-bat of the game, he grounded out to short, but his second plate appearance, he was hit by a pitch off that front elbow. He's looking to plate Mitchell from second base as he takes ball 1 inside. Nieder comes set. The 1-0 pitch to Polubinski. Swung, fouled down the first base line. Heidelberg chasing after it to no avail. In World Baseball Classic news, Trey Turner for the USA has homered again, his 5th of the tournament, putting up Team USA 1-0 over Team Japan in the finals. We're not saying to turn off this game to watch that game, but you have your phone and the TV. So, more baseball is always good. But back to this game, Evan Nieder and Josh Polubinski, even in the count 1-1, as Polubinski skies one, foul. 1-2. Nieder looking to put away Josh Polubinski. Get the second out of this top of the 5th inning. That ball hits the plate again and just bounces right over Preston Lund's head. And that's going to allow Mitchell to advance to third. That plate has just this little lip on it, where if you hit it right, it can do exactly what it's done this inning. Twice, actually. Just pops right up over Preston Lund's head. So now Mitchell is only standing 90 feet away, as a ground ball will likely score him. The pitch from Nieder. Fastball in there for strike 3. That tail back in over the plate caused Polubinski to duck out of the way of it, but that came back in right over the inner corner. So Josh Polubinski, K's looking.
Designated hitter number 22, Jackson Pinsky.
Jackson Petchke up to the plate now for the Wolves. He struck out and walked in his 2 plate appearances today. He takes ball 1 low. Nieder looking to get out of this inning with no runs. The infield single for Mitchell to start things off. He now stands on third. Fastball swung and missed by Jackson Petchke. Evens the count at 1-1. Nieder has been getting lots of swings on that fastball. The 1-1 pitch. Lined into left field, and Isaiah White is going to let it fall in front of him. He didn't really have a play, as that ball was sinking fast. As that's going to play another one for the Wolves, and all of a sudden, this game is a 3-run game.
First baseman, number 8, Zach Polovinsky.
So an RBI single for Jackson Petchke gets this game into closer than what the Vikings had intended it to be. Vikings jumped out to a 9-0 lead, but then a 5-run top of the 4th from the Wolves closed the gap, and now that single closes the gap to 3. Zach Polovinsky takes ball 1 high. Zach Polovinsky had a 2 RBI single his last at-bat, and a pop out to second. The 1-0. Ooh, no, strike. Strike 1. Evens the count now at 1-1. Fouled back. 1-2. Nieder heading the count 1-2. Looking to get out of this inning. Fastball in the dirt, swung on and missed. Lund to Heidelberg, and that's going to do it for the Wolves in the top of the 5th. 1 run comes across for the Wolves as they close this game to 9-6, but the Vikings still have a 3-run lead going into the bottom of the 5th. Preston Lund leads things off for the Vikings here in their half of the 5th inning. Lund is 1 for 2 on the day with a single and a ground out to the pitcher. He walked in his 3rd at-bat. As he takes ball 1 low. Vikings looking to extend that lead back to what it once was at 9-0. But the Wolves have scored 6 unanswered. As Lund sends one into the left field, and that ball is gone. Preston Lund knew it. He is hyped, spikes the bat, and he gets to round the bases. He knew it right away. That'll get your team fired up. And now it is not 6 unanswered. It is 10-6 Vikings.
The school board meeting that
The Vikings have extended their lead to 4 now. And there's no better man to start the rally than Preston Lund.
I actually tripped going up the stairs after I heard it and looked.
Now Corey Mulling looking to
baseman, number 9, Corey Mulling.
Mulling looking to piggyback off that home run by Preston Lund. Mulling has a single on the day, a hit by pitch, and a K. That bomb from Preston Lund was definitely needed by the Vikings. Mulling takes ball 1 high.
So he texted us all. He's like, be there by 6:30. So I was like, all right, I'll be there 6:30.
I didn't get the best read on that Lund home run, but that ball was definitely smoked as Mulling takes ball 2 high. Speaking of home runs, the Japanese national team has just evened things up with Team USA in the World Baseball Classic, 1-1 on a home run. Mulling takes ball 3, upstairs 3-0.
When I was over there, the varsity game was over in
3-0.
What game?
Ball 4, downstairs. Mulling walks on 4 pitches, and you got to wonder if that Preston Lund home run rattled Patrick Flynn.
First baseman, number 31, Demir Heidelberg.
Heidelberg has put the ball in play every time up, and he does not stop here. And that ball is gone. Demir Heidelberg sends one out of here, and the Vikings are now up 12-6. Preston Lund and Demir Heidelberg send 2 out of here in this bottom of the 5th inning, and Heidelberg pimped it just like Preston Lund did. Doing a little showboating on this Oswego East team. Vikings back up to a 6-run lead. I don't know which one went farther. Preston Lund's home run or Demir Heidelberg's home run. They were both hit pretty much in the exact same place. Lund's was a no-doubter, but I got a better read on that Heidelberg one.
Pitch hitter, number 23, Chris Webb.
So now Chris Webb is going to take the place of the DH Elijah Rainey. Rainey had a rough day at the plate, 0 for 3 with 3 Ks. Now Chris Webb takes strike 1, looking to join the home run party.
Waiting for the email and the brackets and all that. Like I'm in some online ones. I haven't even looked. I filled it out. I never looked again.
Webb behind in the count, 0-1. He swings and fouls one down the first base line, 0-2. Third base line, excuse me. Behind in the count now, 0-2. Flynn spikes that pitch, 1-2. The wind definitely playing a factor in those home runs for the Vikings. It's blowing straight out to left field. The 1-2 from Flynn. Webb takes ball 2 in the dirt. Count is even, 2-2. Ball 3, 3-2. Full count now for Chris Webb. There's going to be a meeting on the mound. Flynn maybe hurt himself right there, grabbing at his hip area. So we'll step out, make sure everything's okay with Flynn. Seems to be he's going to be replaced. So, new pitcher for the Wolves, it appears. And yes, Flynn will depart, so we'll step out. Chris Webb, still full count now. A rare mid AB pitching change. The extra hitter is going to walk Chris Webb. Jackson Petchke walks Chris Webb. He replaces Patrick Flynn on the mound. So Chris Webb walks, sending Nico Bilge to the plate.
Third baseman, number 8, Nico Bilge.
Bilge has gotten aboard twice. Come set, the pitch. Fastball in there for a strike. Bilge looking to extend this Vikings lead. He fouls one down the third base line. 0-2. Bilge did strike out his first time up to the plate. And that's going to be a balk. And Chris Webb is going to take second base. So no pitch. It's 1-2 on Nico Bilge. The umpire explaining to Noss what he did to cause that balk. Likely didn't come set all the way or for long enough. The 1-2 to Bilge again. Bilge fouls one down the third base line. Out of play. Keeps the count at 1-2.
Just realized right now that only the turf is like this in the infield that looks out to the outfield.
Bilge looking to drive in Chris Webb from second base.
Chris Webb pinch hit. What position is he going to play? Pinch hitter.
The 1-2. Outside ball 2. Evens the count at 2-2.
Denell Washington in your class is a wrestler transferred from Marion. After the first quarter he left. So he just finished his collegiate career wrestling in Indiana, but he's got 2 little
Bilge
brothers.
looking to drive in Webb from second. extending this Vikings lead to 7. As he takes strike 3 looking on the outer third. That's going to bring up Josh Moore, the right fielder.
Right fielder, number 6, Josh Moore.
Moore has been hit twice in this game and then grounded out to the shortstop on a fielder's choice. But he can definitely put bat on ball, enough to score Chris Webb from second. He squares bunt, pulls back as that ball was high, 1-0. Moore potentially getting Chris Webb over to third base ahead of the leadoff hitter Isaiah White. In there for strike 1, excuse me.
Yeah.
Evens the count at 1.
Okay. Yeah, we're in
The 1-1 to Moore. Low and away, ball 2. Moore, the 9 hitter, looking to turn things over to the 1 hitter, Isaiah White. White is 2 for 4 on the day. As Moore flares one down the first base line, that's going to be caught by the first baseman, Polubinski. So that's 2 outs now for the Wolves here in the bottom of the 5th. But that turns things over to the leadoff man, Isaiah White.
Left fielder, number 13, Isaiah White.
White, as I said, is 2 for 4. This is his 5th at-bat of the game, something you rarely see in a 7-inning game, much less in only the 5th inning. As he swings and sends one out to the shortstop, and that's going to get through. And Chris Webb is going to score from second. And White is going to be in there with an RBI single and advancing to second on the throw home. Polubinski, the center fielder, could not come up fast enough. And that's going to be another run for the Vikings. They extend their lead, 13-6. Another RBI
Shortstop,
for Isaiah White.
Robert Tate.
Rob Tate now stepping up to the plate. He's one for 2 on the day with a hit by pitch and an error. Reach on an error as he takes ball 1 low.
all these people up here. What's up, Joe? Hey, how are you?
Tate looking to plate Isaiah White from second. The 1-0. Inside, ball 2. Tate ahead in the count now, 2-0. White will be off with contact from second, so any ball into the outfield, any single really from Tate will score Isaiah White unless it is very hard hit right at somebody. 2-0. Ground ball down the first base line, a good stop by Zach Polubinski to get Rob Tate to ground out. And at the end of the 5th inning, the Vikings put up 4 runs on home runs from Preston Lund and Demir Heidelberg, and they extend their lead to 13-6 over the Oswego East Wolves.
Leading off for the Wolves, number 11, Dylan Kubik.
Dylan Kubik leads things off for the Wolves here in the top of the 6th inning. He's doubled in his only plate appearance, walked in the other one. He takes ball 1 upstairs. Evan Nieder back on the mound for the Vikings, his 2nd inning of work. He relieved Jack Berry, who came in to relieve Brian Brooks, the starter. So the 3rd pitcher of the day for the Vikings. Kubek swings and hits one on the ground to Mulling at 2nd. Easy play. Gets the out. So a 2-pitch ground out for Nieder to start off the 6th inning.
Catcher number 2, Eric Lewis.
Eric Lewis now stepping in for the Wolves. The catcher struck out in his first at-bat and then had a 2 RBI single in his last at-bat. That started the scoring for the Wolves. As he takes strike 1. That looked to be inside as Lewis bailed out on it, but that tail from Nieder gave that ball the life it needed to get over the plate. The 0-1 pitch. Same pitch, 0-2. Nieder very quickly ahead in the count, 0-2. Nieder looking to retire Lewis. And he hit him on 0-2. The worst time for a hit by pitch. So that puts Eric Lewis on first base with 1 out. And in steps the shortstop, Mason Blanco, who has a double on the day.
Shortstop number 23, Mason Blanco.
Blanco doubled his last at-bat.
I gotta give Danny credit. She's doing this guy.
Nieder looking to bounce back from that hit by pitch. He fires strike 1 in there. These righties seem to be giving up on that inside fastball as it looks like it's going to be right at their hip. But that 2-seam action from Nieder gets that ball to tail back over the heart of the plate. The 0-1 pitch. Spiked in the dirt. Lund can't come up with it. And Lewis is going to advance 90 feet to second base. Lund goes out there to give Nieder a little pat on the back. So you got this. Nieder throws strikes. He is one of the more effective pitchers in the Vikings rotation. As that fastball has a lot of sink to it. Gets a lot of ground balls. The count is even at 1-1. Fouled back 1-2. Evan Nieder ahead in the count now 1-2 on the shortstop, Mason Blanco. Nieder looking to retire him. And yes, he does. A swing and a miss. Strikes out Blanco. And just like that, there's 2 outs now in the top of the 6th for the Wolves.
Second baseman number 24, Christian Martin.
Christian Martin now 0 for 2 on the day. He's grounded out and popped out. He takes ball 1 low. Lund, good block to stop Lewis from advancing to second. When Nieder has missed this inning, it's been in the dirt. But when he's locating, it's very, very efficient. The 1-0. Swing and a miss from Christian Martin. That fastball looks to be right down the middle, but then it falls off the table and ends up in the opposite batter's box. Count is even at 1-1. Fastball in the dirt again. Lund can't come up with it, and that's going to be another wild pitch for Nieder. So Eric Lewis advancing to third base now. He's only 90 feet away from scoring another run for the Wolves. But the Wolves are going to have to score soon, as they only have 2 innings left. 4 outs left, actually. But any runs help. The 2-1 pitch to Christian Martin. Fastball in there for strike 2. Count is even at 2. 2-2, 2 outs. Top of the 6th. Nieder looking to get out of this with no runs allowed, no damage. Lund coming out there to chat things over. Quick one. Maybe just telling him what pitch he wants to throw, how he wants to attack him. Some words of confidence. But the 2-2 pitch. Nieder comes set. Fastball by him. Evan Nieder gets out of the jam with 2 Ks in the top of the 6th. And the Vikings hold that 7-run lead going into the bottom of the 6th. It's 13-6 Vikings.
Leading off, center fielder number 5, Jason Ballard.
Jason Ballard steps in for the Vikings. He takes ball 1 low. Ballard is 1 for 3 on the day with a double, an RBI double, I should say. He's walked and scored and had a fielder's choice ground out. So he takes ball 2 low, heading the count now 2-0. Noss works quickly as ball 3 is low again. So now Jason Ballard trying to work a leadoff walk for the Vikings here in the bottom of the 6th. The 3-0 pitch in there for strike 1. A good 3-0 take as Noss had not thrown a strike to Ballard. Ballard looking to get in on the home run party with Demir Heidelberg and Preston Lund. And he swings over a fastball, 3-2. So the count is now full on Jason Ballard. The pitch. Swing and a miss. 3 straight fastballs get Jason Ballard to go down on strikes.
Catcher number 10, Preston Lund.
Preston Lund now stepping up to the plate. He had that huge solo home run in the bottom of the last inning. Started the scoring for the Vikings. He's 2 for 4 on the day as he takes ball 1 high. 2 for 3 on the day. He's walked. But he is ahead in the count 1-0. Vikings looking to add to their lead as Lund sends one down the right field line. That play is going to be made by the right fielder Dylan Kubek for out number 2. So Lund flies out to right field, and there's 2 outs now in the bottom of the 6th for Corey Mulling.
Second baseman, number 9, Corey Mulling.
Mulling is 1 for 2 on the day with a walk and a single are his times on base. He also was hit by a pitch as he watches ball 1 bounce in there. He's gotten on base 3 out of the 4 times he's been to the plate today, as his only time not on base was with a strikeout. He's ahead in the count 1-0. The pitch. He takes ball 2 inside. Vikings up 7 runs here in the bottom of the 6th, looking to add to that. As the third ball of the at-bat is over everybody's head. Umpire giving Noss a new ball. Maybe that was the reason for that 10-footer. Don't think that even would have been a strike to Shaq, but Mulling is ahead in the count 3-0. Inside, ball 4. So Mulling draws a 4-pitch walk to extend things to Demir Heidelberg.
First baseman, number 31, Demir Heidelberg.
Heidelberg, obviously, with that 2-run moonshot in the last inning, again has put the ball in play every single time he's been to the dish today. Looking to extend that streak, and he pops one up on the infield. Maybe the light's playing an issue as that ball is going to fall, and Mulling is going to try and advance to third, and he's going to be in there. He came off the base, but now is back on the base, and some aggressive base running from Corey Mulling has the Vikings with 2 runners in scoring position and 2 outs. So an infield pop-up that falls safely on the dirt has the Vikings threatening to score even more here in the bottom of the 6th. Now the DH Chris Webb comes up to the dish. He replaced Elijah Rainey.
Number 23, Chris Webb.
Webb walked in his first AB of the game. He had a good at-bat, came back from 0-2 to work it full and eventually draw a walk. Looking to drive in 2 here for the Vikings as he takes ball 1 low. Good block there from Lewis. Really nice play there for Mulling to get from second to third as no one was covering third, as the shortstop Blanco and the third baseman Polubinski were both crashing to cover that pop-up as Webb takes ball 2 upstairs. Vikings threatening to add more in the bottom of the 6th. The 2-0 pitch to Chris Webb. Ball 3, 3-0. Nico Bilgi waits on deck. He has the power to end this game with one swing. Vikings only need 3 runs to end this game on a mercy rule. Chris Webb also has the power to end the game on one swing. But he takes ball 4 upstairs, and the bases are going to be loaded now for Nico Bilgi with 2 outs. Bilgi is 1 for 3 on the day, with 2 strikeouts and a single, plating 1, and then reach on an error. This is his 5th at-bat of the day.
Third baseman, number 8, Nico Bilgi.
So Chris Webb at first base represents the ending run of the game for the Vikings, as Nico Bilgi takes ball 1 high and outside. The Vikings have ended 2 of their games on the run rule this season so far, looking for a third here. The 1-0 to Bilgi. Fouls it straight down, 1-1. That swing from Bilgi looked like he was trying to end it with one swing, as he definitely has the power to do that. Send one into the night, over the fence. The 1-1 from Noss. Ball 2 in the dirt again. Good stop by Lewis. Runners will be off on contact, so any ball potentially in the gap could score 2, maybe even 3, as Bilgi takes ball 3, 3-1. The 3-1 to Bilgi. Swings and fouls that one back. So that's going to bring the count to a full 3-2. So the runners will be off on the pitch. And it appears C.J. Gales is waiting on deck in replace of Josh Moore. Moore has had a good game, but electing to go with the more power option of C.J. Gales. But the full count pitch to Nico Bilgi. Swung on and fouled back. Runners are in motion on the pitch, so that helps Chris Webb at first base get a head start, scoring the potentially mercying run. The pitch. Ball 4, high and outside. The Vikings add on another one. 14-6 in the bottom of the 6th. And the lead is 8. And it appears, is that going to be it for Spencer Noss? Or is it just a meeting on the mound? Looks like it's just a meeting. But the Vikings have the bases loaded and the game-ending run 180 feet away with Chris Webb representing it on second base. C.J. Gales up to the plate, his first AB of the day, pinch hitting for Josh Moore, the right fielder. Gales definitely has the power, like Nico Bilgi, to end it with one swing. But with Gales, it's a matter of getting bat on ball first.
Now batting, number 27, C.J. Gales.
Gales has been effective in pinch hit opportunities in the season so far, with 2 pinch hit appearances in 2 games. As he takes ball 1 low. Gales ahead in the count. A pitch. He takes ball 2 upstairs. 2-0. Noss hasn't been the most accurate this inning, Perhaps Gales might have the take sign until Noss throws him a strike. Prove to him that he can groove one in there for him. But the 2-0. Breaking ball upstairs, 3-0.
It's 14 right now. Isn't it 14?
The 3-0 pitch to CJ Gales. Vikings up 14-6, potentially 15 after this pitch. That's going to be in there for strike one. So Noss can throw a strike, but now it's a matter of getting two more. The 3-1 pitch to CJ Gales. Ball 4, that's a run-scoring walk for CJ Gales. Jason Ballard comes in from third. And that's going to turn the lineup card over to Isaiah White. This is Isaiah White's sixth at-bat of the game.
Left fielder number 13, Isaiah White.
White is 3 for 5 on the day with 2 singles, a double, and 2 groundouts. But he can definitely end the game with 1 swing, as the hitters before him have. But now with Chris Webb only standing 90 feet away as opposed to farther than that. And that is going to be in the hole between third and short, and that is going to be the ball game. The Vikings win 16-6. The run rule ends this game against Oswego East. The Vikings move to 4-0 on the year. Clutch home runs from Preston Lund and Demir Heidelberg help end this game sooner. The winning pitcher is going to be Brian Brooks from the Vikings. The Vikings will be in action on Thursday against Lincoln Way Central, a top team in the state. So be sure to tune in right here on HF Viking Baseball YouTube for that one. As you can see on the bottom of that graphic right there, follow our Instagram, HF Viking Baseball on Instagram. We post final score graphics, all sorts of things you would see on a baseball team's Instagram. So be sure to follow for updates there. Follow our Twitter too, HFHS_baseball on Twitter. But from everybody here at the Viking Baseball broadcasting team, I'm Dylan Barnes. Good night, everybody.